Hey guys, it's Sammy here from How to the Q, and today I thought I'd share with you Apple's new Home Assistant, their music speaker slash Home Assistant slash lots of things. Now, Apple have called it the Apple HomePod, and this is meant to be a large emphasis on Apple Music and the ability to play as a smart speaker and like a Wi-Fi speaker as well. Now, this smart speaker has a large emphasis on music, mainly because they're saying that the way music is being played in houses, in living rooms, is being done quite badly at the moment. The speakers that are currently being used aren't being effective. They've talked about how this speaker has an A8 chip, which is the same chip as the iPhone 7, which is extremely powerful for a home assistant, like Google Home, for example. And this allows everybody to see it as a very powerful device. And it has echo cancellation, spatial awareness. Now, the spatial awareness allows it to detect what sort of room it's in. And we don't know exactly how it's doing that, but that's what they've told us. And it detects the room, and it understands what volume the speaker should be, what sort of reverb, that sort of stuff the speaker should have. And this is quite interesting to me. It's quite interesting to see how they use this spatial awareness. So they've talked about echo cancellation, how they've had 6 microphones, things like that. They also talked about their different tweeter arrangement with 7 tweeters in a circle and precision acoustic horns, which gives it a more direct control. And they really sold this with the Apple Music. They've talked about different types of play mode. They talked about this direct energy play mode, which is for enhancing backing vocals, and that was quite an interesting thing they mentioned also, how you can change the way you play it, how the speaker using its A8 chip actually makes the music you're playing better. Other things to notice are that they said that you can get multiple of these speakers and actually put them together, and they would actually work together to give a better overall sound rather than clashing like normal Wi-Fi speakers would. And what they really said about this was how you can have anywhere in the world you can control this HomePod device with Apple Music. And at this point they had quite a large emphasis on Apple Music, but they did then go to say how this has 6 microphones. You just need to say "Hey Siri," and then they talked about how it can do loads of random things, and it was actually a really good home assistant. So what they said was you can just ask to read podcasts, read the news, sports, basically things that Amazon Echo and Google Home are doing right now. But they kind of sold it as more of a music speaker, but it just does the other things Google Home and Amazon Echo do anyway, just kind of making fun of them, which is quite funny. So, they also talked about home automation and controlling things. Now, home automation is quite an interesting thing to me personally, and probably you as well, being able to control lights and everything remotely. And they said about different scenes that you can set up with Apple's HomePod. So you can set up a scene for movies, so it turns off the lights and moves it into different places. They only touched on this briefly, but hopefully they'll elaborate soon on some of the further keynotes. They then went on to talk about briefly privacy. Now obviously some people have been having some trouble with, are Google recording us, what are they doing with our data? Apple said quite specifically, we only start recording and sending stuff to Apple as soon as you say "Hey Siri." If you say "Hey Siri, who won the game on Saturday?" it'll tell you who won the game on Saturday. It's not going to send other information, so it's not going to take information from when you're just talking, having a chat with your family. It's only going to take information from when you ask it stuff, which is also nice to know. And then finally what they went on to was the pricing. They kind of said that if you want a Wi-Fi speaker, it's going to cost you between $300 and $500. And if you want a smart speaker, now that's going to be about $100 to $200. And they said this does both. And we're going to sell it for $349. And it's going to be shipping in December to the UK, US, and Australia, and I think Canada as well. I'm not sure about Canada, but yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting how they've sold the whole design of the speaker, and it seems to be a much more elaborate than what Google Home is doing. I don't think they really sold Google Home in the same way. The way Apple have sold it is they've sold it for music, and I think they're going to get a lot of sales because they've been talking about music. Anyway, this is just a quick briefing of the Apple HomePod, guys. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out Apple's keynote they're doing over the next few days. And I'll see you soon, guys. This is How to Have a Q. Click on these annotations to watch another video. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.